Now we need to get some sort of a default choice that in any case it will always be added to our choice state. I think that's probably the best thing to do. That way we don't run into issues where users, the first time they run the app or the settings, they don't have anything, or the choice state has nothing, because that's what it has now. It's just empty. So what we can do here is let's get first put a variable here, val, called choice from DB, like this, and I'm going to use settings, view model, and use our unit list, right? That's state flow, and I'm going to say collect as state and get the value like this. All right. And for our choice default or default choice, okay, I'm going to say by remember, and then it's going to be mutable state of, and I'm going to pass 0 to begin with. Now, why am I doing this? So what this is going to be, because I have this measurement units list, and a list has indices, which means this is index 0, index 1, right? So I'm going to use that to kind of point to either metric or imperial, index 0, or metric index 1. We'll see in a second here. All right. All right, next I'm going to create another val here called default choice. So this is where I'm going to actually put the if statement here to check first if our choice from database is null or empty. Then our measurement, in this case, I'm just going to put get 1, which is going to be 0. So in this case, I'm saying if it's empty, nothing we're getting from database. Our measurements, I'm going to pass to default choice, right? This variable here is going to be imperial, right? I'm going to get the first the first index of our list, so 0. Else, in this case, I'm going to then get choice from DB, which is a list, and then I'm going to just go ahead and get the first item which will be added, or it's going to be inside of our list, right? The first item of our list as it comes in this case, our choice from DB, it will come in as a list, right? Unit list collects as state, the value is going to be list, and it should be, and there should only be one item anyway. So that's why I can just safely say get the 0th index and get that object and get the property unit, okay, whatever we have saved in our database. Now this default choice, that's what I'm going to pass it to be a default choice for our choice state. Okay. So again, let's go ahead and do a quick recap. In this case here, I actually don't need this choice definition anymore because I'm not going to use that. All right. So in this case here, what I'm doing is we are getting our choice from DB to see as a list that we get from our settings view model, right? To get all of our, in this case, all of our measurements, right? Or units that we have, right? And then I created a default choice here where I checked to see if we have anything from our database. If the database is empty, there's nothing, then our measurements units that are going to pass to our default choice, we're just going to go and say is going to be imperial, Fahrenheit. That's all. Else, then we're going to get what we get from a database. It's going to be a list. So we're going to get that first object, which is going to be the measurement object, the unit, and get the unit property. So it's either going to be metric, like this, or imperial. We get that and add it to our default choice. And that's when we get that, the default choice, and we pass along in our choice state so that it has a default choice value from the get-go. Okay, I'm just going to run again just to make sure we didn't break anything, but everything should be good. And if I go to our app inspection, remember this may take a little while for you to see the database and everything. So just be a little bit patient. Okay, there we go. Let's go to our settings. You can see it's metric right now. If we go to settings, let me change this to Fahrenheit and save, refresh, voila, it's imperial now. All right, so it's still working.